Welcome to round 3 of the Parenting Roundabout podcast for the week of September 9th. I'm Terry Morrow, and I'm here with Catherine Holeko.
Hello.
And Nicole Eridix.
Hi there.
We're moms of teens and young adults, and when it comes to parenting, we've been there, done that, bought the t-shirt. But we're still waiting for that day when we'll reach the finish line and have no further need to lay down in a dark room with a wet rag over our eyes, worrying about something or other. Wednesday is complaint day here on Parenting Roundabout, and today we're complaining about those surprise expenses that seem to keep popping up. Nicole, you've recently had a few unexpected bills.
Oh, yes. It just keeps coming at the most inopportune time, of course.
That's awful when you hit a patch like that.
Yes. It's just been one thing after another since, May.
Oh, man.
Yeah, and it's little things, well, not little, but it's just things like you can't anticipate them. So,
yes,
for example, back in the spring, as you all recall, we found out that my daughter was going to go to university in Canada. So we knew that we had to obviously get her up there and move. And we had also, just prior to that, booked our 25th wedding anniversary trip to Europe. And I said to my husband, those are too big expenses. Can we do this? And he's like, yeah, we need to, because if we don't now, we might regret it, kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, okay, foolishly. So along with it came all this unexpected stuff. So for example, when we were away, so we went on our trip first, and then we went and moved my daughter. So while we were away, we had paid for all the trip stuff and everything. My son, who's at home, decides to, well, he didn't decide to, but he went to the urgent care because his heart was beating too fast. And the urgent care felt it was urgent enough for him to go to the ER.
Oh, my.
He went to the ER, and they hooked him up to the ECG and whatnot. And apparently it was just a result of some medication that he had taken, some over-the-counter medication that he had taken. So we get a bill for $600 for that. And then, of course, while we're away, my daughter and my son here are at home, and it's in the middle of summer, and they decide they're going to crank the AC because mom isn't home.
Oh, my.
To monitor the AC. And if you know anything about AC in Southern California, first of all, it's extremely expensive. And second of all, you do need to use it frequently. And it does need to be fairly cool. But they decided that 69 was going to be their average temperature.
Oh.
So, so then we got a bill for $500 for that. And then our car, we get home, and for whatever reason, our car is leaking oil everywhere. And so we have to take it in, and that's another $600. And so these are just these are unplanned emergency expenses. And I know that you have to have an emergency expense fund, but come on. I mean, yeah, maybe most people manage to have some money set aside for that, but thousands? Really? This is
it is hard.
Yeah. We're kind of just getting tired. It's just been one thing after another. And then I was supposed to pick up our car today, and the guy phones me and says, oh, something else is wrong with the car, and that'll be an extra $300.
Oh,
no.
Stop it.
Oh,
stop looking.
No, can we just, do we have to have it done? Can we get by with it for another couple of months? Is it absolutely necessary? It's like, well, it's not that necessary. Okay, stop. Then I'm not going to do it. It's an old car. We know it's on its way out. So yeah, it's just, how do people plan for this? I mean, do normal people have thousands in a safety account to deal with this, or is this just a credit card job? Or
I don't know.
It's so frustrating because just when you think that you've got everything planned out and accounted for, all this other stuff just piles on top of it. And then, of course, our trip to Vancouver to take Kristen up to university was not cheap. I mean, we knew that, but then there was all these little extras that we had to get, and
right,
man,
it
just keeps coming.
Ours this summer there was some minor thing wrong with our air conditioning or our HVAC, unit.
Yeah.
And so the guy came and fixed it, and it was a pretty minor fix, but he's like, but I would say you need a new furnace. Like, you need a whole new unit. What? So he gave us an estimate, and he's like, it's not like urgent, like it'll happen, right this minute, and this was summer, but I just feel like we have to do it, because if it breaks in the middle of winter, well, then we're really stuck.
Right. The furnace in Wisconsin being like the air conditioner in Los Angeles is,
right.
Oh, yeah.
Because it'll break when it's really cold, and then everybody else's will break, and the guy will be busy. And so we called another place to get a second opinion, and they haven't gotten back to us. So we need to pursue that, but it's like, we need to pursue that so that we can spend, like $5,000 on a furnace.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
That's really motivating.
So, yeah, we don't have a lot of motivation to track this down.
Oh, God. Yeah, we went through, I think last year, we went through a whole spate of that, where there was, all 3 of our cars needed work done, and we had to replace all our kitchen appliances, and the air conditioner broke, and it just seemed like it was one thing after another. Our neighbors decided to sell their house, and we have this tree that kind of hangs over their fence and was messing up their grass, and so they asked us to do something about it, so we had to take the tree down to the tune of $1,000. And it's just like, it was every time you turn around, there was something else. And then, when the property tax comes along, that's a huge hit. And then there's, all the insurance is due at the same, seems to be due at the same month.
Yes.
It's, you try to get your plan, you try to get your budget, you figure out, we have enough money to pay our bills. And then this stuff just comes in from nowhere. And what am I supposed to pay this with? So we had a really bad time. And then for a while, I had all this extra money. And I'm like, where is this extra money coming from? Because I was actually making less money at that time. And I realized it was because we hadn't had any of these special expenses. Ooh, this is actually how it's supposed to be. Cool.
And then you quickly knocked on all the wood, because
I put as much of it as I could in the savings account so it would be there when the inevitable hit.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like you don't want to notice it and appreciate it.
Right, because
then it's going to go away.
There's always something that's going to come up. We have a few things now. So the list is starting to get long again of things that need to get done that are going to cost money. So, bracing myself.
Oh, yeah. Lots of bracing happening over here.
Yeah. And,
it's like we talked about, your kid left for college, so it's like, I should, aside from paying for the college, obviously, but like the day-to-day, like groceries and gas for her car and whatever you don't have, but there will always be something to fill in that gap.
Easily. Yeah, like your son going to the ER because of some medication. I don't mean to diminish it, but he's done this to us before, where he's gone to the ER because something happened. He scratched his toe or something. He thought it was deep enough for stitches. So his friends took him to the ER. No, the ER isn't here dying.
Well, then there was my son who didn't complain. And one night suddenly started screaming, and we took him to the ER, and his stomach had ruptured because of an ulcer. And it's like, well, you could have said something a little sooner on that.
Right. Really. That would have been allowed.
Don't let me discourage you, sweetheart. Yes, we could have gone to the doctor about this, several months ago, and that would have been better. But in that case, the insurance paid most of that. But after just like 6 months of phone calls, So I wonder what people do who don't have some money set aside to handle these unexpected expenses. And I also don't know what people do who don't have somebody who can just be making calls full time,
Yeah, right.
I was working at home, so I could constantly call the insurance. Why didn't this get covered? And they would say, oh, well, you have to call the hospital. They have to code it differently. And then you have to call the hospital and you say, they said it's coded wrong. They said, no, we coded it. You have to do all this stuff back and forth. And eventually, you hit the magic combination of things.
Right.
And it gets taken care of. But wow.
Well, this is how people go bankrupt, truly.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's a sad thing. I mean, you get hit with something big. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Well, we are all blessed to have, the money somewhere to cover it, even if we have to take it out. Of, emergency supplies. It's, we count our blessings for that. And of course, the enormous pot of dough we make from our podcasting helps with that a lot.
So keep on listening.
The ones of dollars we make.
Maybe we better stop talking before we bring on any more twists of fate.
That's true. Yes. Even as we're speaking, something somewhere in our houses are breaking.
All right. Well, that's it for today's round 3. Tune in tomorrow when we'll obsess about embarrassing our children.
You definitely do not want to miss that one. And then come back on Friday to see what we've come up with for our Roundup picks this week. Find all of our episodes at parentingroundabout.com and talk back in the comments there, on our Facebook page, or on Twitter, where you'll find us at Roundabout Chat.